Let's chat.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Never Split the Party. We are playing Paizo Starfinder. Also, we're watching Nick try and fix.
Are we actually live? Are we actually live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Live.
That on
Hey,
Nick.
folks.
Uh,
Can you guys all just simmer? I got this.
Heavens, jeez.
Hello, Patrick. Shut your fucking mouth.
You don't
Hello,
tell me what to do.
everyone. My name is Dustin. You're watching Never Split the Party. We're playing Starfinder, Paizo's tabletop in space. If you're familiar with Pathfinder or D&D, add some stars and spaceships and stuff, and that's what we're doing tonight. For announcements, we get to watch Nick try and fix his stuff. He has broken all of his computers, and now he's on his laptop, which is super exciting. We will
It's
be... during the after party, which will take place around 10:30 or whenever the show ends up wrapping up tonight, we'll be talking about what's going on for next Tuesday, which is one of our Let's Party sessions where we'll be playing a non-tabletop adventure. I don't think we're doing Star Wars next week, so stay tuned if you want to see what's going on. I don't think I have any other announcements, so I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. I'll ask you guys if you have any announcements, and then we'll go for a super detailed recap of last week's episode, or last other week that we did Starfinder's episode. All right, as I said, I'm Dustin. I also go by the Arbitrary Nerd, and I'm the GM for this campaign. Next up is Justin, because he forgets.
I remembered this time. I was going to go with it. But my name is
I don't
Justin.
believe it.
Well, Habib it. My name is Justin. I play Seeker, Android Technomancer, and Science Officer on the ship. And I have a big mech that shoots magic missiles. It's pretty great.
my name is Chris, and I play Miller Three Top, the more vengeful version of your classic Miller Dotwood Abigail Priest. He is a Yosoki mechanic and best damn engineer in the side of the galaxy.
Durkin, actually. Best Durkin.
What did I say?
engineer. You said damn.
No, you said damn. Also, that's a lie. I've been looking on Yelp.
I'm not on Yelp.
He's on Spelp.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm on Spelt.
All right, and I am Michael, and I'm playing Zero, the android operative, ship's pilot, and I have a sniping mech. If we ever actually get guns.
They're coming. Yes. That's going to be you, Nick, because we always skip Patrick because we don't want to offend his pride.
Well, I'm Nick, and I've still got, I believe, the same audio quality. Not so much in the visual department right now.
Yeah, you look like you're in a closet.
Or that you smoked
always
up and you've fishbowled your room.
Nick, don't worry about it. You look better blurry.
Audio people can't see you anyway.
People wonder why I don't like Patrick sometimes.
I have been nice to you for like 2-3 years.
That doesn't give you any reason to be a terrible person, Pat.
I'm not being a terrible person. I'm being an okay friend.
Nick,
Patrick,
could you
I think
introduce
you
your
look
character?
absolutely marvelous in HD. No, I play Dren. He's a Solarian, and he's a monkey man. Okay, done.
Okay, Patrick, could you please take it away?
Sure. My name is Patrick, and
Hey,
I'm
Patrick.
playing Ryshoran. Hi, my name is Patrick, and I'm playing Ryshoran. He is the captain of this crew. He's a Lashunta envoy. He's mostly known for talking, not so much for action, and he is responsible for this stream being late because he can't apparently tell his crew to do anything.
He definitely talks a lot.
I guess.
Patrick.
What?
Patrick does. You definitely
Patrick.
talk a lot.
I talk a lot, yeah.
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 Makes
If you get
sense that
Patrick
I
drunk,
play
you have
Reich.
a sacrificial lamb out to talk to, or else you're doomed. That's
I'm
the way
actually
to play it.
Yosoki, not a lamb, so
That's fair.
If I stop talking, we wake up a sleeping god.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, his voice is the melody that keeps Azathoth asleep.
Ah.
Oh, it's all right. You'll be fine. If anyone noticed any issues with my audio, let me know. I
Yes.
am using
Yeah,
Nick's
stop
hand-me-down.
moving in and away from the microphone. Why did I make that motion? That was bad. We're gonna edit that one out, right?
I'd love a clip of that one. All right, yeah, I'll stop wiggling, or maybe I'll reorient this. Just keep me posted, chat. I'm gonna try and keep chat up to keep me honest. For announcements, did you guys have anything you wanted to talk about, or can I go into the recap?
Yeah, Michael didn't go at all.
Yes,
I
I
did.
did.
Oh, you did?
He was the only coherent professional one out of all of us.
I tried. I
missed
was
that.
interrupted.
You were interrupted, and it was awesome. All right. Then,
It's
if
just
there
that
are
sneaky.
no announcements for a recap. You know, one announcement.
Because otherwise, I don't remember anything.
If you guys are ever interested in checking out our Audioverse, where we have all of our videos edited and then turned into podcasts, we actually just published episode 1 of season 3. So we have all of season 1 and 2 if you guys want to go back and catch up. Or if you have friends that are more into podcasts than watching Twitch streams, pitch them, because we've got 2 full seasons out and we're starting on the 3rd. We'll actually be caught up pretty soon at this rate. So the every other week break has been working for us. All right, recap from the last time we played Starfinder. It was a little bit of a raunchier episode. I'll let you guys figure that one out by checking it out on our YouTube at bit.ly/neveryoutube. The important stuff to note is that the party is bound to Triaxis. They are aboard their ship, the Spirit of Shirket, and they found one stowaway, and they've interacted with a second stowaway. The first stowaway was Mister, the drow that they had picked up at the end of episode 1 this season. They had left him in the hands of the pirates that they kind of hang out with, but apparently the pirates couldn't hold on to the wily drow, who snuck aboard the Spirit of Shirket, formerly the Indecision, and has been captured again because apparently he's not great at what he does. The other stowaway, there is a family of slime-like organisms that are known for kind of overtaking hosts. Everyone was able to resist the slimes, at least party-wise, except for Rye, who now has a passenger. Again, yeah. Rye's the reason why these things got on here the first time.
Rye, Punchman, pretty much every character I play in one of yours. You're trying to knock me up. I know it.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
Let's not kink shame, please. Thank you. And
It's fine because my character was always trying to knock him down. You got to have that balance.
Wait, does that mean the rest of the family of slimes are actually Rye's children?
Basically.
Yes, allow that. Yeah, I'm going to make that canonical. Yeah. So not only is Rye father to the litter of shipmates you guys have picked up, he might actually be a dad. And also, Kamira's pregnant. I'm just saying. I don't think you guys ever figured out what the deal with her was.
Nope.
Although I guess she had her kid now. Yeah, that would have happened already. Interesting.
Actually, Lashunta's carry
People
very
weren't
long
sure
terms.
that she was pregnant after the whole game show thing.
That she was fake on that.
I know she was fake, but I figured she had to be pregnant for a reason other than just, hey, Rye, here's a person you might know.
Yeah, I'm not worrying about that. You guys will figure out when you hang out with Kamira again. Last you knew, Kamira was hanging out on
She's
the
not dead.
Lashunta home planet of Castrovel. Let's see. Anything else of the recap that was useful for you guys?
We know where the third box is for Zero.
Right. Zero's been picking up these cryptic, esoteric boxes that may or may not lead him to a location. Mister was able to provide coordinates after he was guaranteed that he would not be murdered by the party after his usefulness, expired. It happens to be at the same place where he was trying to get Seeker to indulge in some of his completed, finished product version of his drug, which I don't remember the name of.
Foresight.
Foresight. Perfect. Perfected Foresight is the new stuff. I guess before I start the episode, is there any chance you guys are taking a detour, or are you heading straight on your mission to Triaxis?
Are we still in the diaspora?
No, you've been in the drift. Last episode you spent in the drift. I think last episode I had you guys getting out of the drift and showing up at Triaxis, and
with a very cryptic message to Rye.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with that. I'll say you guys decided not to detour out from your main mission. You have that the coordinates maybe on your way back to the diaspora, assuming you don't all die horrible deaths. You can stop on the way. For now, to pick up where we left off, yes, Rye did get a cryptic message, but we're not going to be dealing with that this episode, so I'm not going to go into it. You've arrived out of the drift, and you are in the system that hosts the Triaxis planet, which is known as the Wanderer for its unusual and kind of eccentric or erratic orbit, or that's not the word I'm looking for.
Sporadic.
sporadic too, but it's not necessarily its orbit, but whatever. Its path through the stars. It's all weird. Right now, we said that it was in the warmer climes. It's closer to the system sun, which is the packed world system. Is fine. Don't worry about it. And the only exciting thing for you guys is that there is the biggest fleet of warships you have ever seen. Almost all of them are of Vesk origin, and there are fighter patrols, there are massive dreadnoughts, there are carrier ships, cargo ships, and all of them kitted heavily with weapons. It looks like an invasion force. However, for those who've been following, Triaxis has been given over to the Vesk as a part of the deal that kind of brought back the Pact Worlds from the Brink disaster. It's what instated the Triumvirate as the leadership for the Pact Worlds, and part of that deal was Triaxis is now Vesk owned. Mr. was going to give you guys, I believe, access codes to get through the blockade of Triaxis. So as you make your approach to the planet, which is a rather beautiful planet with massive blue seas and green landmass that cuts a swath across the middle of it and kind of arcs up at both ends. And there's different dots of land masses. It's not just one continent. As you guys are making your approach, anything you want to do, questions, concerns, any specific plans you're going for?
Well, maybe do some scans on the area we're looking to land.
Good idea. Beep, 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 beep. That's the noise that it makes.
It's also the sound that Seeker makes while he's pushing the blurple button.
Yep.
Also true.
It's both.
I don't know what information your scans get you. You guys are going to be landing on the continent of Ning, which is a bit unique. It's cut off from the other areas of Triaxis by the Sephorian Sea, and it actually, this entire continent is kind of like a little own mini nation because it's refused to acknowledge the Pact authority. And even when the Triumvirate took over, it again still assumes its own little landmass is outside of governance from the Pact worlds, and that does extend to the Triumvirate, which is why it is a great hiding spot for the rebellion that you guys have associated with and are going to meet with. It's also where like massive corporations, criminals, and other folks that are trying to, stay close to the Pact worlds maybe, but kind of be off the radar and do things their own way, so to speak. That's where they all hang out. Ning it's an interesting area. It's pretty lawless. It's not completely unwatched, but it's a safe spot. And it seems the Vesk, when they took over, as far as you know, have left Ning to its own government. The people of Ning, or the culture, is obsessed with honor and status, and that actually is appealing to Vesk. So it's entirely possible that they landed on this planet, started doing their thing with the takeover, and decided Ning was already well enough. It's already doing the thing Vesk wants to do. What the kind of governmental status is, you just wouldn't know. It wouldn't be open information as to how they retain their kind of independence. But again, as far as your intel has it, because you have been in contact with the Vermilion Blur in the 8 months between season 2 and season 3, you know that it has been a pretty safe haven.
Cool.
This place, it's Ning for the spelling.
Sure is.
Okay.
Good point. I should probably start taking notes.
Like Ganning.
As we all write out our. Why do I have a note here that says Ted equals Pinky? I don't care.
What?
I have no idea.
What?
It's under Mr. It says Ted equals Pinky, so it looks important. But
Wait, we took one of his pinkies off.
Yeah, but you fixed it. Did he name it? Oh my
The
god,
wrong
he named
way.
it Ted. I have a note for what he named his Pinky, but I don't have notes for so many other things.
Spoiler alert to everybody, even Dustin.
That his name is Pinky, or his name is Ted.
Yep.
That's fine.
Is it possible Chris actually named it and just doesn't remember?
I know.
Actually,
'Cause he's the one that fixed it.
It's
That would be.
I don't pay attention to these things. So, for your approach, Mr. says he's got codes that'll get you past the blockade without being harassed, or you can try and do it under your own power. How do you want to approach?
Well, I doubt there's any way we could sneak by.
You have already been kind of picked up on scans. You know your ship has been scanned by patrols. As you have not approached the planet, they haven't gone out of their way to kind of do the loading process. But if you do approach the planet, you are very likely to be addressed.
Ping. Oh, hey, look, we've been scanned, everybody. How nice.
Do we know
who was doing the scanning?
One of the patrol boats that is at the periphery of the Vesk fleet.
So it would be someone from the Vesk. I'm sorry, Michael.
When we were talking with Mister about the codes that he was giving us, do we know if the codes would allow us access without, say, being boarded or searched?
Yeah, he, I believe he said, or we can retroactively say that the codes he was giving you were an attempt to get you onto the planet's surface without being harassed.
All right. So under that, I would suggest we use his codes.
Yeah. What were the codes?
If you ask him now, he'll give them to you. He was waiting until you guys arrived at the planet.
All right. So I turn to Mister and I say, "Time to start proving your worth. How do we get in here?"
Is Mister up in the cockpit with you? I know you guys roped him up pretty well last time.
I would probably have him.
Maybe as we approach the planet, you would bring him up.
I would say we'd probably be fine with open communication with him in his less than comfortable living quarters.
Okay, so you're just opening like a channel to him?
Yeah. Does anyone think he would need to be in the cockpit?
I think it'd be a bit easier to communicate.
I don't care.
Less of a chance of him.
Difficult for us to communicate with him via the intercom.
I feel like he'd be more easily persuaded to give us the information in person.
Well, he's already agreed. He is giving you the info up front.
That he knows if he betrays us, he dies.
The only issue is if he talks to you via comm, he can't take over the comms to the outside ship. So if for some reason you felt like you might need Mister to be your voice for some reason or answer a direct question, you won't be able to have access to that.
Yeah, it won't be like, okay, here's a question. Oh, wait, hang on. We have to check with somebody.
Okay.
Oh, okay, this is the answer.
That's good enough. He's tied up in the cockpit with some manner of tape or something over his mouth.
Hey, you guys know why they call this the cockpit?
What?
Do you know why they call this the cockpit?
I put another piece of duct tape over his mouth. Next time it'll be the nostrils.
All right.
No, we promise.
I need to know though. Now I need to know. What is it?
Google it.
Look it up later.
How do you want him to give you the last time you guys bound him real well, now you've duct taped him. How would you like to be given the codes?
We'll remove the
Morse code.
I just removed the tape. How do we get in?
Yeah, all right, sure. You just need to give in the security code that says that you are on official triumvirate business, and you'll be good to go. God,
Understood. What's that code?
Oh, sure. It is 7K642 umlaut blarple and the color green.
He was just going to say 7, and
I was actually writing that down up until you said umlaut. I will erase my notes.
He's looking at Seeker's keyboard.
No, he is giving you the actual code. It's just as he
actual code.
It's a verbal code.
Oh,
yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure. God damn it, I made that up on the spot.
It changes every 5 minutes.
Well, that wouldn't help because he doesn't have any access to anything. He repeats what he just said, or Chris does for me because he always does anyways.
No, it's not my job.
That would be Justin this time?
That would be Justin.
It was 4K6 umlaut blurple and the color green.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I missed one, but that was almost all of it.
Not just
what was it? 764K.
Listen, I will allow you to repeat the code or transmit the code as needed.
Umlaut.
We transmit the code.
and the color green. Okay.
The
Is
only
there
thing we
any
did.
follow-up, mister?
There should not be. No.
Should not be. Have you ever heard of a follow-up, mister?
A follow-up, mister? Once or
Have you
twice.
ever heard of a follow-up, comma, mister?
Oh.
Question mark.
My friends call me Jay.
Do they?
Mm.
How many?
Any response from them?
Oh, you submit the code.
Yeah.
You get a green light and authorization to travel to planet Ning with a message that planet side landing controls will give you coordinates to land.
You know, the weird thing about that code is that blurple is also a color. So, why is it blurple and then the color green?
Because blurple is not a real color.
No, it's just more
It
secure.
sure is.
It's encrypted purple. Or is it?
All right. So as you guys get the transmission, none of the
Tape
ships
goes back
approach
on
you.
mister.
Sorry, what?
Tape goes back on mister.
Okay.
Mr. Like that.
Yeah, and
He
he
likes everything.
Mister will remember that.
as I was saying before, I don't know, but I'm liking what I'm seeing as he looks around at all of your genitalia. And
They're just
Uh,
out flopping.
he was no.
Not Sobs is.
You can still look towards it, even if it's not out. Yeah, not Sobs is. It's covered by the apron. Give him a break. He's trying his best. You guys are able to land. There is no drama here. The only drama was you could have tried to land. You would have had to basically use your bluff and diplomacy to get past border patrol. This planet is not under a strict blockade. It is simply the Vesk homeworld away from home, and that's why the military force is so heavy. It's intimidating, threatening, and it's totally fair that you might have some other misgivings, because this would be like giving a state to communist Russia. Hey, here, have Kansas, enjoy. It's not a great idea, but I guess the triumvirate, or specifically your Kasathan friend, who's Derlith Gerson, seemed to think it was fine. All right, so you guys are able to make landfall. You do get directions from a control tower as you are approaching the continent. It asks, kind of what your destination is. You're able to narrow it down. Not exactly landing at the secret base, because that would be super secret. You land at a starport that's not terribly far away, but also not terribly obvious as to where your final destination is. You already have the instructions on how to find the rebels, so I'm not going to make this a big deal. But when you land, you guys are in a city. This is a fully functional cityscape with modern architecture, some architecture that harkens back to the history of this world. The buildings have an interesting kind of dynamic to them, where the central units of them are made to specifically weather extremely cold temperatures and the kind of issues that might come with that, like snowstorms and hailstorms and awful things of that nature. But attached to all of these almost permanent, ready for ice structures, there seem to be like pop-up houses or more or newer buildings that are taking in the fact that they are in a heat cycle, which will last for many years based on this planet's orbit around the sun, because it's an erratic orbit. Winter is coming, but like in Game of Thrones, it'll probably take another 7 seasons. For you guys now, do you want to do anything now that you are in a metropolitan place? Is there any ends
I
you need to pick
suggest
up?
disguises.
Sure, disguises. You'll probably do that before you leave the ship. Again, your ship, the Spirit of Shirket, has had its registry changed, so it is no longer registered as the Indecision. Again, you know it as formerly the Indecision, but not overly an issue for security purposes, because the ship's shape has changed significantly due to all of the add-ons you guys have acquired. So you don't need to disguise the ship anymore. It's kind of got its own disguise for now. For each of your individual selves, yeah, disguise is probably not a bad idea.
If I do you want us to actually roll for that? If I take a 10, I get a 25.
You know what? I would say that this isn't something you would do spur of the moment. I'd say that you guys had still about a day's worth of travel
I can take a
before
20.
you took 20. Yeah, I will allow you to.
I'm the president of all of the things.
So what's the total?
45 if I take a 20.
Oh my god.
45. All right, give me a quick second
Wait.
while I roll.
I'm sorry, 35. Sorry.
I was like 45. Geez.
I am
How's anybody
rolling.
supposed to beat that?
25 if I took a 10, and for some reason I doubled that.
I'm rolling a
Almost doubled that.
slew of d20 for some things I don't need you to worry about.
Wait, that's it, Patrick? Because I'm a 34.
Yeah, I get it. You've got like 13 plus 13 and everything, plus another 14 on top of the 13. You got like a plus 100 to all your. I'm useless. So why do you have to remind me?
I have a 14 in disguise, and I have a 0 for charisma bonus.
All right, we're gonna do a cinematic scene here as the camera pans down the ramp to your starship.
Wait, there's a camera now?
Yes, there's a camera.
I do
Season
have
3, we added
cameras.
a camera. I have added a fake camera
I
to
love
help
those
you guys
patch notes.
set your brains.
Technically,
on...
we added them in season 2.
Well, those are real. This is fictitious.
We added the fictional ones in the side.
Fictional.
You are right.
Yeah.
I've kept one of
It
them.
wasn't canon until just now, so good job, Dustin.
All right, and let's be honest. Patrick, describe what everybody looks like, because you clearly would have taken over when we started doing.
You know what? I like that. I was gonna let everyone describe their own costumes, but you're right. Rye's in charge for that. I want you to describe what you have made each member as they come down the ramp. And look, here comes Seeker now.
So Seeker has his hair in a top knot.
Per usual.
And his pigmentation, while I tried initially to give him a modern flesh look, he was very adamant about not covering up his emotions, and you would see the lights change underneath his skin. So instead I just painted tattoos all over him, so he looks very akin to like a Ronin right now, with like fancy artistic tattoos that he the entire time said I could do a better job of while they were getting put on, but they look real, dang it.
Ooh, I kind of like it, except for the tattoos, though. I mean, like,
The tattoos are
is kinda
fine. I give him a
fancy.
shove out the door. Who's next?
Next up, you've got Miller, 3-top.
Miller is wearing a large hat. Most of his costuming is just gonna be hats. This one's a tri-corner hat with a bit of like lace work, I guess, on the fringes. I don't know. I was working with what I had. We don't have a lot to go with. Still a rat. I gave him a bit of a pirate costume because I thought it would be funny with a tri-corner hat. Then I realized that pirates didn't wear tri-corner hats, but it's too late. That's what he has.
Oh, that works. So you've got a lacy pirate rat coming down the gangway. I
Lazy
like
pirate.
Pirate, yeah, I'll allow it. That's now canonical. And next up, you've got your other android friend, 0.
No one sees him. He's invisible. Next.
Okay. Next up is the slug monkey himself, Dren.
The slug monkey is wearing a what you would call unfortunately a wife beater.
Yeah, you could have gone with tank top or something, but that's fine.
Yeah, but there's an image.
I'm trying to get rid of that, whole
beating women thing.
right.
That's brawl. That's
That wasn't
brawl.
why I even did that. That was the character entirely.
You could have gone with muscle shirts, I mean, there's a lot of other.
Hey,
Yeah, an A tank.
you know what?
Red
For
neck?
every
But everybody
woman,
knows. Everybody knows what a wife beater is. So he's wearing a classic wife beater. It's complete with mustard stains. He has 2 gold chains hanging from his neck and really gaudy rings on his fingers, and his hair is slicked back, straight back, like someone who used to be cool but then
Wait, so
wasn't, but is still trying real
Do I
hard.
got a
Like,
comb?
So you did all this for Dren?
you have like a switchblade comb.
Yep.
I made
Okay.
out of like some sort of shell that I put a comb into.
I'm all about it.
Spring loaded. I had Miller actually do it. I'm just taking credit for it because that's how our side business used to run. So you're required to keep up the part. So every now and then you get to go.
That's it. Just okay. All right.
What
then
else
brush
was I
hair.
gonna do with the slug juice?
I don't know.
Try putting salt on it.
I like that you've basically done the disguise that Midoriya uses in My Hero Academia. So yeah.
I'm not aware of the reference.
No, it's good. It's good. You did good.
I haven't gotten there yet.
You know what? For every woman that Brawl punched, Dren has loved.
That's true. Wow, I
I
never
guess you
thought
could
of it
say
that
the
way.
same for dudes though too. That kid gets him.
He sure does. He sure does. That's fine. It's all right. That's all right. And lastly, Raishoran.
He's just handsome.
Are you walking out of the ship uncostumed?
No. So I think I would say that I come out looking relatively everyman, with the exception of some fake scars I put about my face to show that I've been in a battle once or twice before. I have been far in the back though,
Miller scoffs.
according to our history.
Really playing up the part. Oh man, I've been through so much.
Yeah, and I practice my 1,000-yard stare.
All right. Okay.
And
Right,
clothing
that's
is just like relatively nondescript. No, I'm not. So I, as far as the clothing, it's just general wear. Because I don't want to stand out right now.
Okay.
That just won't do, Rye. I mean, I think you should wear this nice coat that we got from. Just put on.
I throw the coat on to Saab.
Just put on the coat, Rye.
I put
on the coat.
Saab. I put the coat on. I've already kicked you out of the ship. I kick him out again.
You know what? We got this coat from Saltazar, and I think that you would look absolutely fetching in it.
Does the coat look good, Dustin?
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was a very nice coat. Yeah, and Seeker's.
Does it smell like death?
No, Seeker took care of it. He had it cleaned over the.
Well, I can't smell it, so I don't
You
know.
can't smell anything, so yeah.
Describe the coat.
Shoot. Actually, I take it back. It smells like death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might wear it since you're trying to look like you've been through a lot.
Yeah, but I don't want to smell like I've been through a lot.
Why not?
So I take the coat and I say,
Hey,
This is-
Rye. Oh, never mind.
this isn't ready yet, Seeker. I would have to make some augmentations to it.
I'll make some augmentations
And
to it.
I know you're sensitive
I can
about
mock it.
not being sensitive here, but it smells like straight up doo-doo butter.
Don't one of your
There's some
stones
magic
drink
for
so
it.
you
Smell
don't
it.
have to breathe.
I don't have to breathe either, but I choose to, and I'm not with this. Also, this will make me very noticeable.
Yeah, but I mean, you still look. Honestly,
has
you still
been
look like Rye. I can still
Listen
see.
to your captain.
I'm also gonna move it along because I don't
Thank
have any idea
you.
who's wearing the coat.
No one's wearing the coat.
I've got one last question. Are you doing anything in the city before you make your way with some, stealth over to the
Sure.
rebels?
So are we just beelining it over there, or do we want to take some time in the city, guys?
That's my question.
I mean, I can count the
Playing the
number
same
of times.
character, voice in the sky.
I can count the
So-
number of times we've been in a city in the past couple of years on like 2/5 of a hand.
Yeah. That math works out, I guess.
What kind of?
So, how big is the city?
I I don't have any details for the continent of Ning, but just based on where we're at and because it's so big for corporate entities, I would say that you are looking at like a bigger than New York City style atmosphere here. You are in a very large cityscape.
All right. Well, if we take a day to the city, I know what I'd do. But if we're just gonna be hanging around here for a bit, or
Is it something you would like to pass on for your support staff to do? The support staff that stays on the ship?
yeah, yeah. Basically, I want to kind of put a lot of my resources and help into like the slums, kind of build them up technologically, and see if we can build recruits.
Okay, all right. So you are looking to use goodwill to generate some more positive feelings. Okay. As with every city, I'm sure there's a slum of some extent to some extent where you could make some good. Please choose the support staff member you're sending on this away mission.
All right, who do I got?
You have Stevethan available. You have Rex, who is hesitant to leave the ship, and I don't think we've ever done that. Yeah, oh no, he left the ship for the Goblin episode.
I thought he wasn't able to leave the ship.
They fixed that on the Goblin episode. I don't remember what the situation was, but I think they might have just pushed him. It's fine.
Didn't Natsob reprogram him?
It was something like that, yeah. So Rex will say is available for the 3rd. You could send Terry, who is at least streetwise. That being said, he did get arrested, doing stuff last time he was in the city. So there's that. I mean, if you wanted to be like child labor kind of thing, you could send Ferences. And if you wanted to be real, real dumb, you could send Mister.
Mister's not leaving the ship.
Oh, Natsob could also go. Sabernot. Sorry. Yep.
Natsob will cause trouble. You're not going to recruit anybody with Sob.
Can I send
Except for goblins.
I would say send
Can I send 2?
Can you send 2? Yeah.
Stevethan and Sabernot.
I wanted Stevethan to replenish the supplies on the ship.
Terry and Sabernot.
I don't want Sabernot out of the ship.
I mean,
I'm fine with Terry.
You just for an absolute frame of reference, Ryan. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you did have a span of months where Sabernot literally had a run of your ship and did stuff. Like he hasn't been confined to the ship forever, and he hasn't started any major wars that you're aware of.
Right, so he can maintain the prisoner.
Sure. You want him on guard duty?
No.
Rex couldn't maintain
Yes, he can.
All right.
He
Patrick's putting up a lot of red flags.
No, that's
the entire thing. No, I'm stopping the entire thing. Let's just move on.
Yeah, no, actually, Patrick, I'm going to say, Nix, whatever you're saying, you have sent Stevethan and Sabernot because this gives me a future possible episode. So we're going to stick with that. You left instructions for when Rye was off the ship. Deal?
Classic combination.
Fine.
Deal. Stevethan and Sabernot are going abroad. You have Stevethan, your non-techie going around and trying to identify what can be done. And then you've got Sabernot doing kind of the mechanical aspect. Sabernot gets you a bonus because he's actually probably more accepted in the slums, which may have goblins present. Again, goblins are a civilized-ish species, so it's not weird to see them in the metropolitan area.
And he is the Goblin King.
Yeah, but well, that one requires some advertising. So there's definitely a population there that might already be amenable to Sabernot. The issue is that what Sabernot makes does have that. It's like small taste of goblin architecture.
So can I have a one-off with Sabernot before I let him go?
Sure thing.
All right. So Miller kind of steps off the ship. Sabernot just kind of like walks up next to him. Miller did kind of like dress him up a little, kind of hide a lot of the nudity, nakedness, and all what. Despite Sabernot's protests, but he says, "All right, Sabernot, this is your time to shine. Remember my promise I said to you. I said I'd
get." Bending over and pulling down his pants.
So if you are going to eventually use Tree Axis here as your home, think of this as your maiden voyage.
Maiden voyage.
You are taking your first steps into Tree Axis, am I correct? Yeah.
Yes, they all look the same to me.
Yeah, me too. But this could be future home for you. So my advice to you, be on your best, be on the best behavior that I have taught you. You know, that's why we're covering up your nudity. As soon as you take control of this planet, you can do basically whatever the hell you want.
Take control of the planet?
That's what you asked me for.
Oh.
Yeah, is it coming back to you, or is that just the voice in the sky remembering?
No, it's Sovereign. He
All right.
Okay.
Dustin forgot. Don't let him lie to you.
Now, I am giving. I'm making Steven go with you just in case things start to go wrong or you can't handle something. Lean on him as you need to.
Stevenson begins to speak, but Notsob makes a weird hissing sound out of the corner of his mouth, and Stevenson quiets.
Good. All right. Do you need anything from me? Do you have any credits? Do you need some credits?
I have
Roll credits.
Do you have any inventions?
Yes, I do. And Miller does pull out kind of a newer and improved version of the fist that he had given to Brawl. This thing is a rocket fist that when shot, it will actually shoot fire out and bring it forward, kind of like Superman.
Right. He takes it and kind of starts walking off the ship. Stevenson says, "Yep, that's exactly what I'd give to the slum kids." Okay.
You'll do, kid. You'll do good, kid.
All right. He follows Sovereign, who, as soon as Miller's out of eyesight, definitely strips down to nudity again.
I figured as much.
And leaves the clothes in the trash. Stevenson goes to pick them up, and Sovereign just shakes his head. They continue off, and they go and get into their own escapades on the planet of Triaxis. All right, perfect. Does anyone else have anything they would like to accomplish planet side or city side?
Yeah, I inform Rex that under no circumstances is Forensics allowed to interact with Mr. or vice versa. Mr. is not allowed off of the ship, yada, yada, yada. In no uncertain terms, he is a prisoner. He is simply made to be kept alive and not in pain.
So as Rye says all this to Rex, Zero, without saying anything or being seen by Rye, gives a silent nod so that Rex follows this.
Is he still
silent.
programmed to not pay attention to me?
Yes.
A little bit.
Rex is silent for an extended amount of time after Rye speaks, but from a motion from Zero, pulls up arms with his little clampers on and says, "Security mode engaged."
Good boy.
Did you just assume my gender?
I did.
All right. Well.
Nip that right in the butt.
No, the robot doesn't have a response to that, and neither do I. Moving on. All right, yeah. So you have the ship locked down. You still have Terry, Rex, Forensics aboard the ship, and you've got 2 people out and about.
Terry to restock the.
Oh yeah, Terry can do that. That's easy errand. So Terry is going to go about and restock the ship.
Now, I would say without stealing things and causing trouble. I do say that. I did. I do. We don't want attention drawn.
What a good dad.
You can seek attention, though. Just don't draw it.
He says, "That's fine by me."
Or so help me, mister. And then from the background, I hear Mister say something, "Not you."
Well, he was more going to say, "I'm not mister," but I'll allow it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you've got someone getting supplies, so ship will be topped up, hopefully. You've got people, hopefully, building some goodwill, which is good. I'll do some rolls in the background for that. For you guys making your way, you take a non-direct route. You know that the base that's being used, which is just where the kind of command unit of this little rebellion, the ground forces that are run by the Vermilion Blur, there's a building, a hideout. It's an old abandoned factory on the outskirts of town. A corporation used it. Whatever it was used for was discontinued, probably Crunchy Crunch, and now it was just kind of property sitting there. The resistance members have moved in, and you take an indirect route to get there, which is to say you hop in a hover cab, you get out in the wrong side of town, you take a cab back, you find a subway, you follow that, and all the while you're trying to just be as stealthy as possible with your different cautions and whatnot. However, you are recognized twice. The first time, you're about to board a subway, which will start taking you more directly towards your destination, and a guard wearing. Let's see. This is not going to be package related. Bless you.
Sorry.
Just a guard wearing whatever the Ning population is. We'll say it's like bright orange armor, with I don't know, the shape of the continent as their logo or something. And they kind of halt you guys up as you're going by. And it's just like a token machine where you're like putting in tokens and walking through to get onto a train. And he stops and he points directly at Rye and he says, oh my god, oh my god. And this is a we'll say it's a gnome. I love gnomes. Gnomes are great.
Since when?
It's a smaller. I hate gnomes. It's a smaller humanoid with kind of a slightly oversized head in proportion to the rest of its diminutive body, and it kind of jumps around excitedly as you approach the turnstiles. And he says, "You wait! I know you. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's Raishorin."
Without internally, I'm like, oh no. Externally, I'm very calm and walk up to him separate from the group. Can I help you?
Oh, are you? Oh, the scars. Are you doing a part? Are you getting ready for a part?
Surely I don't know what you're speaking of. And I kind of nod.
Listen, I don't mean to hold you up. I know what you're doing is very important. I'm excited that you're back in the acting role. I thought that whole rebellion thing had you tied up a little bit, but fake news, am I right? So
can I, real quick before he continues, and not interrupting him, interrupting you, can I do sense motive on him to see if he seems to actually?
Yeah, please roll sense motive.
All right, so this plus dang it.
If you can beat a 10, you're good.
Yeah. Stuff. 15 plus.
You already beat it.
I know that. 1d6 plus 1. 15. So 18 total.
Yeah, totally fine. He seems to be genuinely interested in the fact that he just met Reich Oren out in public. This might be the highlight of his life.
Okay. So I say, listen, I'm breaking it now because I've just had a long flight, but I'm a bit of a method actor. And so I like to get into my roles, become that role. And so I don't tend to respond to my own name. You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we could keep this on the low, no one's supposed to know I'm here, but I can't hide from a true fan. And I reach into my pocket and I pull out a pre-signed receipt from a bookstore I've never been to.
Takes it with both hands reverently and says, "Is there any way I could get a selfie?"
Oh.
I feel like the subway lighting is really it's really doing something for your scar work.
So I take the phone and I just like a Robert D. Jr. Charisma level. I just like put an arm over his shoulder, raise the thing, and click it while my head is not quite in the frame. So he's
Okay.
got like an arm and a bit of like scruff, and that's about all he sees. And
Okay.
I try to make it real smooth as if that is not intentional to mess up. And then
No, I got
before
it.
the picture, I just put it down and I go, it was so great to meet you. I love meeting the fans. And can you do me a favor? Just be on the lookout if just we seem to be in any sort of trouble. It's really important that like no one knows I'm here.
Roll diplomacy.
Sure. What's my diplomacy?
It's one that says diplomacy.
Diplo. I rolled a 26.
He says, yeah, I absolutely, he takes his phone, no problem. He puts it right in his pocket and he doesn't look at the picture. He says, yeah, I can absolutely do that. Like, do you just want to know when like a fan notices you, or is there something else you're looking for? Because I mean, I think that dude wants your autograph too. He kind of points over your shoulder.
And I quickly look, but like not like scared, more like a Zoolander. Turn. What do I see?
Zoolander is exactly how you want to do this. Sure. Roll perception.
It's the Magnum.
It's
Roll-
Krellis.
Rolling looky loos. Look-see doodles. I rolled a 27. Very observant.
Yeah. As you point, he points to like what looks to be a crowd of people, and it's just people going about their day, moving up the subway, reading, papers on their data pads or talking to people as they're on their daily commute or whatnot. You have a hard time picking out whomever he's pointing at, and he also seems to have lost. Oh, I could have sworn there was an android who was just looking at you. I swear he was looking at you dead on. I assumed he recognized you too. My mistake. I'm sorry.
I just lightly put a hand on my newly acquired and then upgraded gun, which basically has Nat 3 bolted onto the side of a very analog gun.
Mhm.
Is there any reaction from it? I don't know if he has the ability to sense others or anything like that. I have no idea. Probably not, right?
Yeah, it's not great. No.
So I say, okay. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Paparazzi's trying to ruin my career. Both of them. Who did you say I was talking to? It's a guard?
Yeah, it's a local
Vest
guard.
guard? Okay, so it's like a
Gnome.
local
He's a gnome.
gnome. Oh, that's right. You did say that. I'm sorry.
Gnomes love you.
Who are you employed by?
Oh, I work for the city. Yeah, I am a branch of their police. We work in the metro area. We rotate out pretty regularly, but yeah, for right now, I'm on subway duty. Which honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better spot because I named my kid after your character from the Gnome and I. Like seriously, you are my
Okay.
absolute favorite actor.
Well, it's always good to meet a fan, and I shake his hand, and I lean in. Can you just describe that guy that you saw?
Oh, it was really quick. I was kind of more looking at you. He, I don't know, shoulder length hair. It was a little unruly. Skin was more flesh colored than the blue you sometimes see them. The androids, I mean.
Okay. Okay.
Had circuits.
So, like I said, very important that no one knows that Reich Oren is here. I go by.
Nice rubbins.
Nice rubbins.
I go by
Nice rubbins.
Right? Nice rubbins?
Niche
Nice rubbins.
Robbins. I am Officer Nitch Rubbins for the purposes of this assignment.
You know what?
You can call.
I got a second kid on the way.
You,
At this point, Milliken
I forgot
says,
I was.
all right,
I was
Mr.
promoted
Robbins,
to
we
captain.
got to move. We got that deadline to make.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's
So I turn back to him and I say, if you come across anything else, if you hear anything else, here's my encrypted line, and I give him an encrypted line. That's only valid while I'm on planet, so don't get any funny ideas. But if you hear anything with your connections, let me know.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I can do that.
Very cool. And I walk away, suave like.
Yep. Yeah. They swoon. And you make it through the turnstiles fine. You board the train. You have a moment to let your party know that they
Are being followed.
But you aren't able to make it. If everyone wants to roll perception, they can.
Yes.
Nope.
So for anything, if there are people actually talking about any of us by name, I get a bonus to it.
Yeah. Wait, is this verbally?
I get a +5.
Like
Verbally.
So if someone's talking and it's anywhere, or is it like in a vicinity?
Something I can hear. I get a bonus to my audio perception checks.
Oh, okay then. The only thing you've
But
heard
you
is
should
the
know he can hear for 500 yards.
The guard's constantly saying like Reichhorn's name, and to the point where you see him, like you overhear him as you're kind of walking through the turnstiles, typing on Spinstagram, "I just met Reichhorn location tag."
I immediately like nix that. I start hacking stuff, prevent that from going viral.
Roll me a hack check.
Can I assist?
I know you won't, but please fail.
Yeah, you
I
can
also
assist.
assist.
I rolled a nat 1. So
But
I
he
have a
got a
19.
19.
I have a 19.
Oh, it's going to be a 21.
I'm gonna go with my critical fail, which we use on skill checks, even though that's not a part of the actual
So
tabletop.
I made it better for him. Everybody knows.
Made it pop up like the old school viruses where it pops up. You go to click X and it pops up somewhere else. It's just Reichhorn.
So actually, all of the video screens in the subway now have that on their screen.
I'll allow it. Yeah. Basically, and you removed it from his phone, which was the intent. Unfortunately, for some reason,
once it's on the internet, you can't get rid of it.
Maybe it's a backup system you're unaware of, or maybe this guard was using the station Wi-Fi or something. It linked up, and now you are broadcast on screens. Again, you guys are boarding the train, so not necessarily a big picture there, but
And also, he didn't have a picture of Reichhorn.
you're right. It is a picture of it's one of those
Mitch
swipe
Robbins?
pictures. It's a picture of him with an arm and some scruff, and then the next picture is a signed card from a library that Rai has never been to, or a bookstore he's never been to. Not exactly proof.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say the slug monkey interrupted me, and that's why it happened.
I didn't even do anything.
While on the train.
Right as I hit the button, I hope you fail.
It's the fun option. I like fun.
There you go. It's been said, Pat.
While we're on the train, I kind of turn to Sika and like, you can make people invisible, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you might want to get ready when we deboard this train.
On myself.
On
People
Rye.
are gonna notice me. Okay, I'll make myself
you
invisible.
see all of that, and pointing to every single, like every 3 feet, there's like a big screen that says "Rise" and Reichhorn is on tree access. Did you see that?
You know, I told him he should wear that coat. If he wore the coat, it has a hood. He could have put the hood on. I mean, come on.
You're absolutely right.
Roll perception.
I did roll perception, but I'm not looking for people following us. I'm looking for shiny things.
25.
25.
I got 19.
34, and it's 39 if they're talking about us.
They're not talking about you. They won't be using your name at all. They have a crazy high bonus. What was your
34?
34. They have. I think you might have beat it. Yeah, they got a 30. What was that?
I was close.
Yeah, they rolled a 7. So.
Woof.
you catch a glimpse, Zero, in the car, like the next car, like you're looking kind of, you go for a deep search, like you kind of lean out into an aisle or whatever of this train that you're on, and you try to catch a glimpse down the doors going into the connected carts, and you do for a brief second catch a glimpse of an android face, because you can tell from the wired lines of the kind of glowing lines that you all feature, and it ducks back. For a split second, you thought it was Seeker looking at you.
Oh boy.
All right. So with that, I would immediately signal to Miller, Seeker, Rye, and even Dren, the slug monkey. And basically, well, tell them that, I'm pretty sure I just saw another of the Nat line.
Could I have everyone but Nick take their headsets off?
Oh, screw yo.
I'm looking at Twitch, which is a bit of a delay. I should be looking at, there we go. All right. So as you are being told that there may be another Nat model in the cart next to you, you hear a whisper in your head, and it's a bit of a lower, raspy voice, unfamiliar to you, but it is speaking directly into your mind, and it says, "Well, that was a rookie mistake. Got made by the weird one. As you may already know, I'm in the next car. I've been hired to find and deal with a number of the people you're traveling with. You're not on my list. Would you like to make some money today?"
How much money?
Well, I'm not really worried about the bankroll as long as it's reasonable and what you're willing to commit to. If you want to just turn on an electronic device and let me connect to it so I can follow you, I think I can pay you pretty well for that. If you want to be more active participant, I could pay you much better. It's really up to you and what you want to put into it.
Who sent you?
Cosmos. It's a
And
family
Cosmos-
affair. It's a family affair, if you must know, but we do have to do something about that Lashunta. He's putting too much face on our models. You still there?
Still here. They've not necessarily done anything against me, and they've had more than many a chance to dispose of me.
If that's how you go through life, you must not harm anyone ever.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Neither would I, you pirate. I know who you are. You're just not on my list. All you need to know is that there's a big paycheck if you're willing to help. Now that I've been made, I don't really feel like having this little dance in the public. So it'd be really helpful if you wanted to just, turn on your phone with just a signal.
I think I'll be taking my chances with this crew. Money alone isn't good enough to win me over.
Yeah, well, I'll kill you first, then, you slug-looking piece of fur. Nice talking to you. And he hangs up the telepathy. I don't know how that works, but you feel very distant. And let's bring everyone back. I don't know who's looking at me. All right. I should probably open up this. Patrick's picking his ear, so I got to get him back on. Hey, pay.
Okay, so now we just wait to see how long Pat. Oh, damn.
So do we even get a perception? Was there any talking involved?
There was not.
What I missed?
You know what? I will give Zero, you specifically, I will give a quick perception check because you're addressing the party as what just happened. Roll me some perception.
29.
29. Dren, you have the option. You can roll, we'll call it bluff. it's more of like you just keeping a poker face, or you can outright say what just happened. That's up to you.
Can I do both?
Yes, you may.
So he does a bluff.
Well, I didn't roll too well, but that's an 18 overall.
So
Versus what?
what you we had Zero's roll. Zero, what you notice is that for a brief second, it's not very long, and it's like a brief interruption, but while you're speaking to the party and you're mentioning that there may be a Nat model in the other car, Dren looks away for a brief second and gets a bit of a distant look in his eyes before he kind of recovers it himself and brings it back to focus on you. And then Dren, if you would like to interject.
I could just go, "Oh yeah, they're totally coming for you," and I point at the two androids.
2 androids?
He's pointing at Seeker and Zero specifically.
Oh.
You weren't listening to the fact that there's a Nat line, a train car behind us.
Well, dang.
Oh
You
no,
said-
he knows you're you.
Yes, well, we can't exactly go to the hideout.
The
Until this
big
is taken
hint
care
was it's family business.
Well, I mean, if they are in that other cart over there, we can decouple these carts.
Well, wait a minute. Dren, how did you know they?
How did I what?
You said they.
He said he was part of a family. They
Wait,
I
how?
haven't yet confirmed that you've spoken to this person.
Yeah, you're gonna just have to start from the beginning there, Dren.
easy.
While
you
that's
guys
going
were-
on, I'm wirelessly hacking into the train to see if I can try to decouple the mechanism.
Roll in the background, make it an engineering while Dren explains.
Yeah.
While you were talking to all of us,
Did you also Nat one?
No.
he reached out. This android reached out to me, and he attempted to pay me off to either just go on my way or assist him in taking down you two. Point at the two androids again.
Did you take money for this?
I thought about it, but I didn't.
Are you telling the
You
truth on
guys
this?
right now are the safer bet as opposed to one assassin.
Oh, good. It's loyalty he has. All right.
Honor among
Well,
thieves.
I mean, you've seen our track record so far. I mean, we haven't lost a party member yet, right? All right, guys? Oh, wait. Brawl's not here. Yeah. He is alive, yeah.
I mean, there was sheer
Sure
cat,
cat.
but I mean, she chose that as opposed to just having this.
Oh, yeah, no, I've never met her, so it's a watch for me. Sorry, guys. I know you need to skip after whatnot.
I look off into the distance, like dramatic upper right look. She was the best.
Fan.
Hey, Justin, what'd you do on your end?
Yeah, can everybody hear
Oh,
Justin?
nope.
I
I,
can-
had
I can-
myself muted
all
for
right.
How
for
long
the
it's been-
stream. I don't know.
Guys, what was the last thing you heard before Justin was muted?
From
He's been muted
Justin.
forever. Oh no,
Been
Justin.
Oh no. Nah.
No way, really?
No, I think I shut it off to try to grab a pen and paper and stuff.
Oh,
So it wasn't too long ago.
all right.
Basically, when you asked me the name, I shut it off.
All right.
Chat.
So describing the Nate person I saw with the long hair and everything, see if Nate recognized them. I'm suggesting to Rye that he does that.
I'm sorry. Repeat.
Check with Nate if he
Yeah, I was
recognizes
going to
the-
based off of your description. If you gave it, did you give it?
Yes.
I
Long
check.
hair.
So,
Oh wait, but we're in a crowded train, aren't we?
You are.
Can't you do it, via...
It would just be
telepathy?
weird for me to pull out a gun and be like, yeah, so anyway, hey, gun.
Couldn't you do it through telepathy? Didn't you do that before?
Dustin, oh, you'd allow that? Okay, fine, I'll do that. I just daze off into...
You've been having telepathy moments with the androids. Why not? I'll allow.
Okay, then I do that thing.
Sure. Yeah. He says.
Now keep in mind, this is the first time since he's been in a gun form that I've telepathically communicated with him.
No, that's fine. He can't initiate it with you, but if you initiate it with him, that's fine. So Nat 3, the other Nat line android, which Seeker is a part of, and Zero still might be a part of, and you kind of picked up in season 2, but then digitized. He kind of chimes in. He says, "Yeah, you've described all of us. We were all made out of the same mold. It wasn't important what we looked like. It was important about the different abilities we do. Is this one shooting fire out his hands? Is this one turning invisible? Are they turning into a pool of semi-organic metal and then reconstituting themselves? Pick one."
Seen that movie.
I look over. Did he kaboom, disappear into midair, sploosh?
He ducked back behind because he was trying to hide.
No, it sounds like this guy sucks.
Oh, trying to hide and not good at it. One of the later models. Yeah, they went a little bit less on the stealth angle than with the earlier models. So you're looking at something probably approaching what your boy Nat 2.0 would be capable of, if that's what you're dealing with. You're 17, 18, 19, something like that.
Do you know anything about those guys?
Yeah, they suck. Don't interact with them. They'll kill you. Literally, one of them could rip you in half without actually, being in the same room as you. So be mindful. They suck. They're real bad.
Oh,
They're bad news bears.
okay.
I don't know what a bear is. I read about it in a book once, but they're that.
I just now realized that we're kind of dealing with the Red Ribbon Army.
The what?
The Red Ribbon
Dragon
Army
Ball
from
reference,
Dragon
don't worry
Ball.
about
I was gonna say, are we fighting
I don't know that
Android
reference.
17, 18, 19 now? Is that what's
Oh
going
God,
on?
I'm the only one who doesn't know this reference, aren't I?
Probably, yeah.
Even I know that.
God, it was such a bad show.
You're just a really bad
You
nerd.
suck. We're good. You suck.
Yeah.
Oh, that show
Dragon
sucked.
Ball is great. The
Episode 1.
original OG.
Oh, this is
That's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
that
talking
wasn't
about
Dragon Ball
OG
Z?
Dragon Ball.
So Red Ribbon Army is mostly a Dragon Ball thing. It has a brief fling where it's just name dropped. It's not actually an army in Dragon Ball Z. And technically that's where your 17, 18, 19 come from. But that's not really what Chris was going for. Chris was going for OG Red Ribbon Army with, they have an actual army and a lot of weird androids, including one that
And they are all numbered.
and they are all numbered.
Dragon Ball was better. Thank you, ADAC.
oh,
Anyways,
Dustin
no,
froze.
print screen. Haha.
Having a great time tonight.
I thought I was the one having computer issues.
Hell yeah. All right.
I think we've all had issues at one point.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I feel like his computer did what
Oh my
mine
God,
does.
that's
where-
a look of a person who's just given up. Wow. That is just great.
Another
wait,
news?
it's so much different on the stream too. Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at I'm looking at Zoom.
Oh, this is great.
It's the same picture to me.
Oh no. One of them, Dustin, looks really.
Oh no.
Oh, bye, Dustin.
Dustin looks really concerned. Like that's a stream one.
Okay, I'm
he
part
was going
Zero
off
and I'm part Dren right now.
In other news, I took off my bandage, and I kind of wish I didn't.
Gross.
Oh, now Miller.
What? What? Why? What happened? Oh, is Dustin back? All right, now I'm gonna have
Dustin's
to.
back.
All right, stop video.
What's up, guys?
Let's hope this doesn't crash my computer. Let's hope. All right, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. All right, I'm back.
Mm,
All right, Patrick.
Yeah, Mike, you just screwed it up.
well, because Chris
We're
needed
gonna
to go
cut
before me.
this.
No, we're not.
Actually, I am.
No, we're not. Oh, I'm 0. Oh, I was 0.
We're gonna
There.
cut this.
That's for cutting. Now
There
I
we
know
go.
it's gonna cut.
Cool. We're back, right? We're back.
Yeah.
Dustin, how you feeling?
How long did you monologue?
Dustin, do you have
Oh,
no audio? Can you say something?
Nope.
Oh, we can
Can't
see.
hear it.
Oh yeah, we can see you just fine. Dustin.
Dustin, no.
Can you hear us? Wave or something if you can hear us.
No, he can hear
Yeah,
us.
he can hear us.
Hello.
Hey,
you
there
go.
he is.
We can't hear
Darn,
you.
we got another Chris.
All I did was unplug and plug back in the mic, and my computer just went completely black. Everything just went black. I was like, "Oh, that's exciting, cool."
Ooh,
Hey,
my
Nick, stop
computer
breaking my
issues are contagious.
goddamn computer. No.
Nick is single-handedly destroying every computer within the group.
If I can't have a computer, nobody can.
All right.
Twice
I'm sorry
all
for
my
the interruption.
USBs reset.
I am back. I honestly, I'm quite alarmed as to what just happened, but we're going to worry about that later. You guys were dealing with gnats. I was going off on a bit about Dragon Ball. Let's just get back to it. What are you doing about the android in the other car? What was your
Well-
role, Miller, for decoupling the train?
Yeah, so I rolled a 19 plus 22 is 41. I think Justin or Seeker said he was going to assist,
Yeah.
or 43. Does 43 uncouple it?
Oh yeah. You get into you hack this public service system like it is tissue paper. You are all up in its innards, and you are easily able to decouple. You are also able to trick the computer so that it doesn't immediately alert the robotic conductor, because I assume they're robots.
Yes. Also, with that roll, could I also change the tracks?
No, so it's not self-powered at that point. It does require a like a head train, so it actually just slows to a stop.
But you can play one really annoying song ad nauseum over their intercom.
I could.
Oh, are you
I'm
training
going to.
your tracks?
What's that?
Training.
Just any of the tracks, like anywhere where there's going to be a veer off. Can I have it quickly switch so that as we're kind of rolling slowly, we kind of.
No, it stops, and you don't know the path well enough to predict that. So it basically, once you decouple, it just stops. It's a safety measure. It basically hits the brakes hard and ends up in a tunnel wherever you left it, and your train keeps going off to its destination.
All right. Well, then, as a send away, yes, I'm going to send them away with Rick Spassley's "Always Going to Give You Up" over their loudspeakers.
I appreciate the mild changes you have done to this thing. Oh no, I don't know if it saved my character sheet for that character that I had open.
No.
Sweet.
So I'm going to ask Rye to ask Nate, have they ever been known to work in groups?
You guys already know without him having to dig through that. Yes, it was in my research folder. Found it.
That's a weird place for it.
That's where all my downloads go. So you know for sure there is at least a couple of models that do work together. There was 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and 9 work together as a quad. They were built as a foursome.
Hit.
Grow up, Petra.
No.
All
Mystery
right.
in the background, like, yes.
So yeah, it's not unheard of for them to be working together. In terms of this, you've only seen the one, but yeah, definitely something you guys could be.
And there
aware of.
clearly wasn't enough to go on to get any more detail.
Is there anybody else on our train?
And there
Yeah.
wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So there's not enough for you to find any other information from Nate. He just doesn't have anything. You guys haven't interacted with this model enough for them to know. And unlike the Red Ribbon Army, they don't have logos and things like that, and they don't, advertise what number they are unless necessary.
So it has like everything like decoupled, and we're on our way.
Correct. Yes.
So then I'll say. So you guys are kidnappers now, huh?
What do you mean?
What?
Hijacking this train.
I
We're
have no
more
idea
like
what you're saying. I wirelessly did it. You have no idea that happened.
The next car is
the detachment.
stopped.
We'd see the detachment.
Right.
Right, but you
He has
don't know
no
if
idea that was me.
I'd have an inkling.
I could make an educated guess.
Whatever. Kicks open the door to the train. Let's go, folks.
I mean, we're not taking any of these people with us, right? I mean,
No, you guys ain't coming with us at all.
Are the people around in the cart panicking?
No, most of them didn't notice.
Oh, they did now.
Maybe the people around you look back, but they don't see anything back there, so they just think you're insane. Also, why are you so slimy? So no, unfortunately, your actions haven't really triggered any awareness shift. Again, Miller had full access to their system, so he's able to make it pretty smooth.
good job, Johnny. I know Johnny Slunks. Good job, Gustavo von Idleshire. That was a great time getting rid of that train.
What the hell is happening?
That's
Since
Miller's
when-
name.
When did you say Soseiji before you said it a second ago?
Oh, that was my name.
Okay, right, cool. Which
That
is
was
the
my
worst
name.
part is you were probably muted when you said it, so Chad.
I was.
got
Yep,
abstained.
he was.
But
Cool.
I took a note of it. I'm probably gonna say it again for the audio.
Well, doesn't your audio
Recording
wouldn't have you
individual
muted, would it?
tracks.
It might because I did an OBS. You gotta cut this again. Thank you.
Sorry. All right, keep going.
All right.
You guys have been made twice now, sort of. Your location is a bit compromised. What is your next step?
So hop off the back of the train, hitting like the old emergency button just to kind of call for help for all the rest of the folks here and say, all right, let's get out of here. Let's find our way out of here.
Oh, your train isn't stopped. Your train kept going. It was the
Wait,
train
oh, I'm
that was
I thought-
behind you.
I thought I was the non-powered one. Never mind.
No. Yours is fine, and you're
Okay.
continuing on to your destination. The car behind you stopped, and as like you detach it, and as a safety measure, because they don't want it running wild, it stops. It has electromagnetic
Gotcha.
tracks. Stopped up. You're good. So you are
Gotcha.
totally fine, and you arrive at your station, and that's also why no one notices.
Oh,
For the most
no,
part, for
no.
them, nothing changes. No one looks around when they're riding on a train. Like, it's very rare for someone to be actually looking at the other cart, because then you might make eye contact, and that's awful. So
Mhm. All right. Well, then ignore that. Yeah, we'll just get up. All right. Let's go.
Let's get away from here because they're gonna know where this train is headed just by looking it up
How
Mhm.
did they contact you, Dren?
telepathically.
Pretty sweet.
All right. Now that we know they have telepathy, does that help Nate identify them?
Well, I
Yeah,
imagine
I mean,
most
I
of
have
us,
telepathy. It's not really that hard.
and most of us are technomancers anyway, so just different kinds. That's just something we can do.
yeah, it's the telepathy. Nate will confirm. Yeah, all later models have it, and a couple of the earlier ones do too.
I checked to see if I
I
have
wasn't so
telepathy.
gifted. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said I checked to see if I have telepathy.
You do not.
I said most of us.
Well, let's get going. Do we want to hop back on a train? Do we want to backtrack? Do we feel that we're too compromised? What's going on?
I suggest we let the Vermilion Blur know there may be people following us, and then it might be unsafe, and you might want to meet us elsewhere.
I concur.
We can send an encrypted message to them to meet somewhere. Maybe. All right.
Yeah,
What is
no
that?
problem.
Computers?
Yep. Give me a computer check. That'll just check the encryption.
I'll help him.
Yep. Take a look at my code. Can you fix it at all?
What
Your
was your
syntax is a
roll?
little weird
Well,
here,
my
but
roll is a
it's
23.
okay.
And I can't fail to help.
All right. The
Same.
25. Yeah, he puts a parentheses where I missed a parentheses. Does Seeker put a semicolon somewhere where I missed a semicolon?
Oh, he totally rewrites like an entire,
Okay.
like, huge chunk.
Then it's +4, so 27 altogether.
I can't fail
27?
either on my.
Yeah.
Okay. That's decent.
Could have been much better.
Have you tried using Malbolg?
Elbow.
It's a really awesome encryption software.
I'll have to look into it.
Moving on, what do you say to Vermilion Blur in this encrypted message?
Let's see. I say, very, very quick. Position is compromised. Can we meet elsewhere? Maybe set for ambush.
That you had let them know of your coming. This isn't a surprise because that's a bad idea. So you quickly get a response back from the Vermilion Blur, who also is known as Tamnel Har, and he quickly responds back with just confirmed and a neutral location, which is on the other side of the city, basically.
All right.
It'll take you both parties about the same time to get there. We will say that it is a relatively nondescript eatery. It is called the Green Delicatessen, and it is a 1-floor establishment. It is kind of like a weird like mom and pop set amidst like massive corporate buildings throughout the rest of the city. It's like this weird holdover for locals. But the benefit is that there's a couple of obvious escape routes. There's windows throughout the entire building, so you can see all around you pretty well. And there's enough people there to blend in. It's fairly popular. So you are at the Green Delicatessen, and as you kind of enter, you see that Tamnel Har, who is not wearing his Vermilion Blur gear, but he is wearing a Kasathan face mask, which is very common. Kasathas very often cover their faces with different types of masks. His is basically a black wrap that leaves everything but covered but his eyes. Sorry, I shouldn't cover my mouth. It covers everything but his eyes, and it's just a wrap. You recognize him because he does wave at you as you kind of come in, and the eyes are enough to know. And as you guys sit around this booth with Tamnel Har, he kind of reaches over with all 4 of his hands, shaking different hands from each of you. He ignores Dren, and he says, welcome. It's nice to see you all again, and newcomer.
Mr. Ha, it's good seeing you after all these years.
Yeah. All these years? It's almost 2. I'll allow it.
It's wonderful to see you again.
Before we continue, do you have guides posted around here?
Yes, yeah, we did put up some indiscreet lookouts to see if you were followed, and if my watch begins to vibrate, you'll know that we should probably cut our meeting short.
Did you inform him who he's looking for?
That's what I was gonna say. Just to let you know, we think it might be one of the NAT units. And then kind of do a head nod over to Seeker.
That's good to know.
Way to let that one out, Miller. I mean, not Miller. Excuse me, Gustavo.
Yes, I will. One moment. He types something into a data pad very briefly, and he says, we'll do what we can, but looking like Seeker might actually help them evade my currently posted guards. So let's make this quick.
Yes.
You wanted to touch base about next steps. All I got was the only information that was passed on to me. What do you need from me?
We're all looking at Rye.
Sorry, I zoned out for half a second there.
Tamnel Har is just trying to see why you guys are checking in with him and what you need specifically from him, because the more specifics of your mission would have been not really safe to transmit over open comms.
Right, and I remember what our mission is.
For the most part, what you're looking to do is simply have the ground forces mobilized in such a way where you have access to them and they're not stationed on tree axis anymore. Basically, you need to move the rebellion off planet and be more prepared.
So I say, we need to have the forces mobilized off planet where we have access to them.
I don't know why I get an erection when he does it, but I still don't like it.
Justin, we've known for years.
I think that's the first time that I did the copy everything that Dustin just did.
I also think it's the first time you've done it.
That's normally a Chris or a Justin thing, or Nick thing.
I don't think I've done it.
I think you've done it. Am I
I'm pretty
right?
sure everyone's done it.
No,
Yeah,
you do the thing where I say something and then Chris asks someone else to say what I said to him.
Yep.
That's what you do. Okay.
Mm.
Two similar things. You are correct.
I hate that too. Tamnell says, all right. I guess this means that you and your pirate friends are looking to take this to the next step then. You think it's time?
Oh, it's time.
I think we don't have too many options, and they're probably not expecting it now.
Absolutely. Strike with the iron's hot, am I right?
Not much for smithing myself, but
It's fun.
sure.
It's a fun
Yeah.
hobby.
Those are
Oh, I thought that was about ironing.
It could be.
We've acquired ships enough to get us transported. If you could set up a rendezvous with your pirate friends, I believe they've got the more sizable fleet. We could rendezvous with them, join our forces together, and you've got your task force.
I imagine he doesn't know we have the infinitum.
No, wouldn't be knowledge that he's aware of. That's too specific.
Right. In that case,
Go ahead, Zero.
So,
Don't you dare say, "Hey, Rye, tell him again." No, God.
No, I said we all looked at Rye.
So and so, no. Sick of it.
So where was I going? Oh, so our the other crew members of our ship actually came across the infinitum while we were a part of the dangerous game, right? That's technically when they found it.
Yeah. So,
Yes, yeah, they found it while you guys were going to or starting to engage with the most dangerous game show. Yeah.
Yeah, as
Tamnell-
lucky as it, our goblin friend, who was originally Sob, then not Sob, and now Sob or not / the Goblin King. Yeah, it is a long backstory behind it. He and a few of our crew members actually stumbled upon it, grabbed it, and now it's part of our fleet.
So he crosses his lower arms, and then with his upper arms, he does grab one of his shoulders and kind of rests his chin on his hand, because Kasathans do have 4 arms. And he says, "That's humorous. The whole reason why I got put on your case, if you remember,
Mm-hmm.
was because you lost the damn thing.
Yeah.
How cyclical things are at the end.
I blame the voice in the sky.
Does anyone else? Yeah, it's nice to see you've taken up faith, Zero. Has anyone else? Have you had military action with the infinitum yet?
No.
Interesting.
Have we?
No.
I imagine we still haven't tried moving it.
I didn't say the infinitum was a part of the fight, right?
No.
don't
Over
think so,
Eox?
no.
Nope. It was.
No, it was 3 pirate ships.
Okay, just
Or
make
2
sure.
pirate ships.
It
in
wasn't
the,
supposed to be, but sometimes I forget things.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So he says, "You know what? When you get back, because I assume you'll beat us there, make sure they know not to engage in any fleet action with the infinitum. In fact, the longer that stays hidden, I think we can use it as a bit of a Trojan horse, maybe."
So I've been drafting up blueprints to increase the weaponry on it. Shall I continue with that?
No,
Do you want me to
No.
build a great main for it? I can.
I don't know what you're talking.
You don't want him to.
He wanted to turn it into a horse.
Oh,
An actual
Is that in
Trojan
your
horse.
blueprints?
Do you want to switch? You take my role and I take yours? It's been 2 years of this for me.
I think you are uniquely suited for your role now, right?
No,
Rice
understood.
Evans
We
LLC.
called you uniquely suited.
That's nice rubbins right now, by the way.
Sorry, nice niche rubbins, I believe is what we had messaged. Niche rubbins.
Yeah.
All right.
Captain Niche Robbins.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Not
Captain
my
Rubbins.
choice.
I believe you
was-
should maintain your role as face and leader of this motley crew, and I think you guys might be right. We are pretty well set up. We're not going to single-handedly take over the Pact worlds, but if your plan is for some more discreet engagements, you are using guerrilla tactics, I think we could help you dismantle the triumvirate and see what comes of it. I think you're right. I've been overcautious these 2 years, and yeah, I'm ready for a change. I am ready to take revenge on my father's killer, as much as revenge is a petty emotion.
Sure is. And Miller just kind of pats Phyllis.
Yeah. I look forward to personally ripping him in twain.
Oh yeah, we're pretty petty people.
Ooh. Can I watch? That sounds
Pretty
awesome.
petty people. I've got the new team name.
I'm writing that to my notes.
Just kidding. We're
No,
not.
I'm not. You guys haven't had an official team name forever. Pretty petty people seems damn good.
But I'm the
Papa
only
Bear's
pretty
pretty
one.
petty people.
Look at this guy as I point to Miller.
Phyllis waves.
Did Phyllis recently get more color? I'm not kidding. I don't remember the black edges on the tail.
No, this has always been
Oh,
there.
it's green.
Oh, neither do I. I don't remember that either.
I just don't recall it. I wasn't being facetious about Phyllis getting color. Yeah, Tamnel's all about it. Tamnel does kind of he puts a hand on Rye's shoulder and he looks into his eyes.
Into who's?
Rye's, yeah.
Okay.
And then he turns to Miller. So what's your first target?
What's your first what?
Target.
Ooh,
Let's see here.
I will remember that.
So what was the where is Oda Shen located?
This planet.
This planet? Well, right. Where is she located on this planet?
The main continent. The Vesk have converted some local, I don't know, royalty basically, taken over one of their castles and has turned it into a military compound. As far as I know, we have a hard time keeping tabs on Triaxis as we want to draw the least amount of attention as possible here. But sources say that she tends to stay pretty close to home. Her off-planet sojourns died down after reports of your death came in.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we're talking about the triumvirate, I think the main muscle is the Vesk leadership. Am I correct, or?
The Vesk definitely provide basically the same thing that we plan on providing for the rebellion, which we probably should come up with a catchier name. I'll leave that up to you. But they have the best shock troops. Whenever they need to do some more finesse work, they'll bring in the Veskarium troops and land on planet. They've been putting down the small right now insurrections that have been going on. The one on Verces and where's Miller from again?
Acton.
And the Akaton revolts as well. They've been deployed there most recently. The fleet is provided, as you probably have seen, primarily from the Eoxians, and the Mecha are exclusively under the leadership or ownership of the Border Space Union, or the Gerson Sphere, if you can stomach saying those words together.
Well,
and what is our best bet at getting at Oda Shen? I mean, like, how do you think we should go about the business?
Surprise
Well,
attack with a covert and back?
no. The Veskarium, that's their thing. Maybe not necessarily the most covert, but they're always on the defensive. Actually, it's a little quick. It's not exactly the timeline I would have liked to prepare, but next week is the anniversary of the Veskarium taking over Triaxis. I know they were doing some celebrations for that. I expect there'll be parties or even speeches enough where you might find Oda Shen, the face of the Veskarium in the Pact Worlds. We could probably get you your particular group and specialty. Probably get you close to her.
I love parties.
Mm-hmm. And a follow-up question.
Yeah.
This one here, points to Rai, is known to be on the planet. Can you maybe bring up some fake news? Maybe kind of leak some fake information about Rai leaving the planet in the week time that we used to prepare here?
I think.
I have some pictures you could use.
What if?
Why do you have pictures of me?
I have pictures of you drinking out of the trough on that planet. Like one of the first planets.
Planet Revel.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that.
Where you met Stevathan, yeah.
And Petor.
And Petor, yes, correct. Temnel kind of strokes his hairless gray chin for a bit and says, what if we did one better?
Get closer to the mic.
What if we did one better?
That was better.
That is better.
What if we announced he was here or preparing for something here? Say, maybe we go and say that they're planning either, I'll take your flavor, a raid on the Veskarium compound with, and you're just opening up all of your followers to gather. I mean, surely they couldn't kill all of you, could be what the tagline you use.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
And
going for a false flag.
What?
See what I did there?
Yeah, okay.
Just making conspiracy jokes.
No, it's fine. And we use the fact that you've been cited here as to fuel that rumor. You might even get people to show up and distract them enough that our antics at the event, whatever you guys choose to utilize, aren't picked up as well.
That's actually not a bad idea. Especially if we could drum up another speech, right?
I'm sure I could probably make some bots or something to spread some rumors around the space book.
Well,
I seem to recall I just recently did a speech that should be like just still
months
playing.
Ago.
Well,
it was a really good speech. It's everywhere. It's still.
Hey, all famous dictators have a lot of great speech.
If you didn't want to do it that way, my other thought was we could also potentially have it be, we advertise a pop-up play or concert or whatever it is you do when you're not rebelling, and maybe just take their attention that way. You're doing it as a mark of the revolution. You're flaunting yourself on the Veskarium's planet with a secret pop-up event, and again, they go left, we go right. The Adari world ship shuffle, as they say.
Then you do it on the day of her, what is it, the anniversary, to spite them.
Yeah, I think that's believable, and again, it might take some of the heat off of you actually sneaking onto their premises. It does, I'll admit, run the risk of upping their defenses. Well, everything you do can get you killed at this point.
That's true.
It's not a problem.
At least I'd go out doing something that I love.
Yes.
Pretending to be somebody else.
You wouldn't actually be acting in the play.
No, I would either hire a ringer or we would use holograms or
Nobody is that good.
again,
Come on.
again.
Seeker, make a hologram. Boop. See?
Doesn't look anything like me. Looks
Looks
exactly
just like
like me. It's artificial.
This is the exact thing.
Yeah, I don't listen. You've got a week to plan. I'm going to see what I can do about getting you access to an event. I'll just need you to let me know what you'd be looking for. Like if you want to be at a presentation, a speech, or if you want to be at like an after party, what your preference is. And I'll see what I can do about getting you invites. We have some contacts here on the continent Ning and in the city itself. I think we could flex a little bit of muscle, and considering this is kind of our going away party, I guess, if you wanted to choose those words for what we're doing, our forces are leaving Triaxis anyways, and if we remove Oda Shen from the picture, we don't have much reason to come back. I will be honest, I am concerned about the brevity with which we will have to plan this assault. I wasn't expecting us to be in action so quickly, and certainly not on Triaxis, but
Welcome to the pack breakers, am I right?
I think there's merit to it, and I think
I embrace it.
the pretty petty
You're the only
people
one.
are the perfect group for it.
We are not the pretty. That was no.
Everyone roll perception.
Okay.
Nat 20.
35.
Ooh, that
yeah.
one.
20.
Hey, I rolled a me.
Ooh, I jam.
Yep, eyes jammed.
I rolled a 21 apparently.
For no
Okay.
reason.
Oh wait, nope. That is wrong. Hold on. I hit the wrong button. I don't have those bonuses. I rolled well under that. I rolled
10.
Hold on, what?
I don't know.
I don't get the plus. All right, so I got.
Oh, okay. No, you rolled a 19.
Thank you. Yeah.
So 0 has the highest at 35.
At 35?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 0 once again.
Yeah,
is the
because
only-
anybody can roll a nat 20 and 0 is just like, your numbers do not matter.
Well, I'll give your nat 20 it as well. I'll call that a critical success for the purposes of it. So I will say that Dren and 0 have a brief moment to notice a glimmer of light from some distance away outside the windows. And it's someone has shot a weapon at you guys. Like they've lined up a weapon with like a targeting laser, and as they're pulling the trigger is when you finally notice the like laser sight activated and kind of on all of you. Every single member at this table has one of these like little dots on them. When you notice them, they're faint, they're not obvious or overt, and there are how many of you? 5? There are 6 laser blasts hurtling towards you. You guys have half a second to react. Dren and 0. What's your knee-jerk reaction?
You saved me.
So I was about to say I'd tackle Rye out of the way.
Yes.
All right. 0 tackles Rye out of the way. Dren, what do you do?
I'd probably hit the floor.
Screw the other guys.
Oh no.
All right. Yeah. No, that's totally fair.
Bye everybody.
And in character.
Like, in the moment, I'm pretty sure he'd just be like,
so for this,
I would probably also say everyone down.
yeah, as you say that, though, the blast, all coordinated, hit the glass of the restaurant, melt holes and shatter them with the immediate rising of heat, and drill into the party members still seating where they were as this coordinated strike does hit. And I'm going to roll damage on Seeker, Miller, and your boy, the Kasathan.
Well, they still get to roll a.
There's no reflex or anything against this.
No?
It'd be the equivalent of when I took the time and took a
okay.
nat
All right.
20.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, I mean, there's always the chance that, they took a 20. Okay.
Let's see. Well, they've been lining up for this entire conversation.
Gotcha.
They actually they rolled 34, I think, on your encryption check, which well beat it.
Mhm.
So they knew exactly where you were meeting and had time to set up. and they did not engage close, which is why you didn't hear his watch vibrate. Here we go. It is, they do have a sniper rifle. Ooh, it is, it's not too bad. It's only 2d6 plus 9. I'm going to have you guys all take the same damage just to make life easier. So I'm going to roll 2d6. That's going to be 9 plus 9. You each take 18 points of damage. I'm going to say for the purposes of this is HP damage. Again, I'm trying to make stamina damage something that you have to be cognizant of and aware of. And if something does actual damage to you, it should hit your HP.
Why did you add the +3 twice?
Did I say?
Because you said 18. How can 2d6 plus something equal 18?
No, it's a 2d6 plus 9. I rolled a 9 on the dice and added a 9. Yes.
Oh, because it's, well, the weapon damage plus whatever there.
Right. So he rolled, so 2d6, he rolled 2 dice, it's probably 6 and a 3.
5 and a 4.
5 and a 4, and add 9, 18.
Yep. 18 damage. And no one got, I'm not giving it criticals. It is fire, but it's a laser rifle that just kind of launched out, a long range sniper rifle, coordinated with something you'll figure out next episode because we're coming to the end. But I'm going to say for the purposes of this, we're going to begin combat next episode. I'm going to have Dren, Rye, and Zero get to act next. Like, you guys are ready for it. You hit the floor. You were uninjured from the blast, and you're ready to go. Seeker, Miller, and the Vermilion Blur, Tamnell, you guys are going to be missing around as you are. You're not like actually mechanically stunned, but you are put off. The blast hit you, knocked you to the floor. You're all bleeding from various parts of your body, which we'll get to next time. And you're coming back to it. So it's going to be the other 3 are going to be figuring out what's going on. And that's what we'll pick up next time. Right now, to set the scene, you are in this diner. Windows have been shattered. Laser scorch upon the leather seats you were on. Tamna Har, who was in kind of booth stuff, was like sprayed out on the table. His forearms, a gaping hole in his shoulder, one of his shoulders, I guess, bleeding out onto the table. Miller and Seeker hit the floor hard and skid a little bit from these laser blasts. And as you know, kind of Dren is under the table, blood dripping from Tamnal Har over his head. Raish Orin buried under Zero, and Zero already rising with a pistol in hand. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Mostly Harmful.
Woo.
I was going to say Starfinder. I was going to say Never Split the Party. I decided to go with Mostly Harmful.
Mostly Harmful is the right way to go.
It was safe to assume I could only prevent one person.
I wouldn't have given you 2. You did the exact right thing. Also, Dren did the exact right thing. So, nope. Full marks from me. I love it.
Yeah, I don't take damage too well.
Yeah, and again, the HP kind of skipping over stamina damage, that's not, I believe, covered in any way in the books. I'm definitely making that a home rule or house rule.
I mean, it's like a major narrative event, so...
Well, there's also like that time that Zero during our Halloween episode took massive damage where I think his heart got damaged. But because of the way the game rules work, he didn't take any HP damage. It was all stamina. Like, I'm sorry, that don't make any kind of sense. So I'm going with, if the attack specifically hits, like it's critical, it does something critical, we're doing straight HP, we're skipping stamina. Your stamina's still there. Your stamina hasn't been zeroed out or anything. It's still your buffer going forward. But for right now, you guys are entering combat a little bit worse off than your compatriots. All right, I am going to let's get into the after party. I want to say thank you guys for watching and thank you for bearing with our technical difficulties.
Thank you for listening.
Affecting my computer. And we're going to be going into the after party. We'll be talking shop. This is just an opportunity for us to talk freely with folks in chat amongst ourselves, and it's nerdy as hell. And as always, no spoilers for movies. I don't think anything really came out recently, but just, you know, no spoilers for movies.
Bruce Willis was dead. Oh, you already just said that, didn't you?
All right. Thanks again for watching. Next week, we'll be doing our Let's Party, meaning we'll be playing something else, not Starfinder. And then the week following that, which if I was to have a calendar open and appropriate, that would be July 30th. On July 30th, we will be streaming Starfinder again and picking up where we just left off. Until then, please remember, never split the party.
Yeah,
Nicholas.
Yeah,
It's all my fault.